Hey guys, Beer Cheesy here, and well, if you didn't watch my last video, not specifically last, but you know what I mean. I did another video like this where I put a bunch of trades up and showed you what I thought would be certain trade ideas that I might think might really help the Kings roster, and maybe could even help the other team that they're trying to trade with that are still somewhat realistic. So this first trade, is with the Knicks, and the trade is Carlson and Butler. They already said they want to get rid of Carlson, and Butler, he was already kind of iffy about wanting to be there in the first place. For Aaron Aflalo, who yes he has slightly large card, but the Kings need a shooting guard, and Galloway, who could be a good replacement point guard for Carlson because he can grow and get better. This is good, some good instant talent, and it's a good shooting guard that's good at scoring and he could shoot, which could really help the Kings. On to the next trade. Here's the second trade. With the Grizzlies and the Kings, obviously. Marco Bellinelli and at least one second round pick for either Courtney Lee or Tony Allen. Both of them are, well, Lee can shoot, which would be a good replacement for Bellinelli considering he's having a pretty bad season. And Allen would give the Kings the defense that they want, even if he's a bit more aged, which is not what they're looking for. Next trade. So this next trade is with Marco Bellinelli and with Boston for similarly Jonas Jerebko straight up, one for the other, swap. The Kings already mentioned that they might want to trade Bellinelli, and Boston likes to trade with Sacramento, like they want to, at least, to try to get them on the good side for Marcus Cousins, who they should be able to figure out they don't want him. They won't want to give him up. Either so this one works out for, I think, for the Kings fairly well. Because Jonas Jerebko is a stretch four, which they wanted, and someone that could start the power forward position. So again, they need it. Next trade. So this one's with the Raptors, and well, again, a swap. Him for Patrick Patterson. This could work again for exactly Jonas Jerebko. He's a stretch four, and he could start. Again, Kings need both of those. Same as the other story. Let's continue. This trade in between Marco Bellinelli for Dion Waiters, straight swap. Yes, Dion Waiters is younger and a bit more versatile. His shooting isn't as good. Well, yes, the Kings do want to be able to run. This could give them another option to run, even if they already have Ben McLemore does more or less same thing. Waiters is a younger and a more stable shooting guard to be able to start, and maybe he'll be able to actually thrive in the style of the Kings when they run, which could help. This could also apply maybe Ben McLemore to Dion Waiters. I could see that happening also. This trade was with the Trailblazers, and well, it's for Gerald Henderson. Marco Bellinelli for Gerald Henderson. Most likely knowing that Henderson's very versatile and helping Portland very much right now, considering they're actually doing okay, even though they have nobody, other than Lillard. They're doing really well, but I think that they would do this if the Kings included a couple second-round picks, maybe one or two. And this would easily be able to go through. Next. This trade's a much bigger trade. Like franchise-changing kind of change. This one is with the Clippers, and, well, they said they're not so sure about Blake Griffin. And, well, I don't see why the Kings wouldn't want him. He's a power forward star who can still run like Rudy Gay. Well, yes, his defense isn't as good. He's not a good closer. DeMarcus Cousins could close. Him with DeMarcus Cousins. Think about how nasty that would be. And then LA's getting Rudy Gay, who they already said they have a lot of interest in. Darren Collison, who has played with some of the Clippers and knows, I think he could figure out what he's doing there, and he could have a good role at backup point guard. Maybe even sixth man. Seventh man, because Jamal Crawford. But that, along with the first round picks for 2 more years after that, not this year, because this year is still the Kings would be with Blake Griffin, and they're kind of figuring out how it works. So it might not be, it'll be a pretty okay draft year, plus the Bulls have the rights to it anyways. 2017 and 18, those will be years when the Kings might be thriving because of this. And then by the end, both teams will have completely different rosters anyways by then. So I think this would be an incredible trade for both sides. Also, write your opinion in the comments below. Maybe add some trade ideas of your own. Thanks. Next. So this trade is simply Kosta Kuvas for Markieff Morris. Markieff Morris is a stretch four, like like the Patrick Patterson trade I had earlier. Except this time we're giving Phoenix Kosta Kuvas, who could be solid for them, and I don't see why they wouldn't be able to use him pretty well. Marquis Morris will give us what they want other than the defense. The Kings don't have defense, but still. But Marquis Morris, he doesn't want to be in Phoenix anyways, and he'll get rid of his $8 million per year contract over the course of multiple years. Well, yes, Costa Kuvas is also a big contract. It's still a bit less, which could help. You never know what could happen with $1 million. So this trade is actually my favorite of all of them in this video and the last video because I think it's the most realistic and could help all three teams. It's a three-team trade between the Pistons, Phoenix Suns, and Sacramento Kings, obviously. And like the last trade, involves Kuvas and Markieff Morris. For this trade to happen, it'd be the Pistons acquiring Costa Kuvas and PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker is a good shooter and it could start at the small forward position while Stanley Johnson develops. And Costa Kuvas could be a great backup for Andre Drummond, and could maybe even play power forward or the center as he is in Sacramento. For Phoenix, since they're getting Ersan Ilyasova and Marco Bellinelli. They're both very good shooters. Well, yes, Devin Booker is obviously great because he's in the three-point contest. I think Bellinelli could actually mentor him in a way, show him how to shoot more consistently, get more open shots, etc. And Ilyasova, well, he's a replacement for Markieff Morris, except now they're not going to have to worry about their starting power forward complaining about I don't want to be here. Now for Sacramento, they get the Morris brothers, both of them, one from Phoenix and one from Pistons. This is why I chose these two teams to trade with. The Morris brothers are a duo that once together they do so well when they're together. But when apart, as you could tell, well, yes, Marcus is doing better. Not better, but very well. Markieff is really not. But reassembling the brothers could be a massive deal over the Kings. Well, yes, they might have a bit too much at small forward. You have to remember that both Morris brothers can stretch four and can play the three, which also can help versatility. And they can both run and shoot. And other than defensively, this is a pretty good trade. The only difference really is Costa Kuvas, but Willie Cauley-Stein is who they're developing in general anyways. Next trade. Okay, so something I forgot to mention for the last trade. It's actually on a site I found where you can write your trade ideas. It's called Sacktown Royalty Trade Ideas. Look it up if you want and add your own ideas there. That's where I think would be the best chance you got at looking at the idea while looking at it. But this trade is between Orlando and Sacramento. It'd be a franchise trade because Rudy Gay is involved for the Kings, which is not a franchise player, but a very big role player for the Kings. It's Rudy Gay for Victor Oladipo, Evan Fournier, and Jason Smith. Jason Smith is a stretch four, which could really help the Kings. Oladipo is great young talent who could hold that shooting guard's position, and Fournier is a solid shooter. For this trade, realistically, I think they might need to throw in Marco Bellinelli so that they wouldn't lose that much shooting power. Or remove Fournier, just do Oladipo and Smith, and maybe a pick or something. Like a second-round pick or two. But I saw this one online, actually. But I think it could be a very solid trade. I would love this to happen. To be honest, that one and the one right before. I would like any of these trades to happen, obviously. But this one I happen to like a lot. So, yeah. So this trade actually is also online. But it's a very good trade. I like it a lot. Again, with Rudy Gay, just for a bunch of guys. Maybe they'd have to throw in DJ Dukin or something because they need the power. They need the salaries to recommend. So it's Rudy Gay for Will Barton, who's been going off because Will Barton's only $3 million a year and Rudy Gay's 12 or 13. It might not work salary wise, so you'd have to throw in JJ Hickson, who yes, still an expiring contract, but it's $5 million, so that helps that, and you can give him a good power forward for now. He's just definitely athletic. Even if he's a bit small for a center, he could work for a power forward. And then Joseph Nurkic. He's much more, he needs a lot more development, but considering DeMarcus Cousins is a center, he can also help him improve in his own way. And it's on a 3-year contract, which is what the Kings want. Long contracts that they can help in the long run. I think this could really work. I hope you do too. Next trade. And believe final trade. I was wrong. This is the second last trade, but still, this is a really big franchise trade, but I think it could work out. So for this one, it's the Chicago Bulls, and it's Bulls are getting Rudy Gay and Ben McLemore. Ben McLemore, the Kings are iffy about anyways, and Gay is, well, everyone wants him. And Sacramento's getting Pau Gasol, which is why I'm saying franchise, Mike Dunleavy, and Karen Bairstow. Karen Bairstow is only there for contracts, but Mike Dunleavy is a veteran leadership and a shooter. The Kings need a shooter, and they need a veteran leadership, so that works out for him. And imagine Pau Gasol being with the Marcus Cousins. Think about plus the veteran leadership. Well, yes, he's on an expiring contract and might not stay. For considering they're really trying to get that playoff push, this could put them a bit over the edge and maybe not make it super far, but maybe even get out of the first round as long as they're not in the eighth seed. But this would get them Pau Gasol, a very solid power forward with the veteran leadership, along with the for veteran leadership and the position that they need at shooting guard. And Karen Bairstow just contracts, but you never know what could happen to a player. So yeah, final trade now. Let's do this. The first final trade, it's with the Jazz. It's Darren Collison and Caron Butler for Alec Burks. Caron Butler's there because of cap, but I was looking at the Jazz roster. They have zero veterans whatsoever, which is why I think Caron Butler would help. Plus, he doesn't really want to be on the Kings anyways, so I get him there. Then you also have Collison for Burks. Alec Burks, I think, is fairly underrated, and he's a shooting guard that I think, would be able to thrive in the Kings system, considering he is a shooting guard and he's solid. The Kings need that in general. Plus, Darren Collison, yes, they'd be losing Darren Carlson, who's a big asset, but they already said they might be willing to trade him anyways. So, as you saw, I did multiple trades. I think they're all very fair, except for some which I mentioned adjustments for. But, try to spread the messages, try to spread this video, share it any way you can, and of course, like, subscribe, comment, the usual, and yeah, write in below if you agree or disagree and what would be the faults of these trades. Thank you, and the BOR cheater shall now be out. Peace.